Hello, welcome everyone to today's episode of the Workplace Ninja Summit sponsor introduction. And I'm your host, Frans Oudender. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Harjit.
Hey, it's good to be here.
Yeah, definitely. And together, we are the Ninja Reporters. And,
Yes.
and today, we are thrilled to introduce another one of our distinguished gold sponsors for the summit. That's Rimo3. Rimo3 is a leading provider of automated solutions for managing and migrating Windows applications. And I think, Samit, you have a lot more information about Remo3. Welcome.
Welcome,
Thank you
Samir.
so much. Thank you so much, guys. And by the way, can I just tell you that, Franz, the Dutch pronunciation of Harjit might be my favorite thing ever. So I'm going to start calling you Harjit if I can
Love
pronounce it
it.
properly with the Dutch. It's very nice, very elegant.
So thank you for joining us in this episode. Can you explain a bit what Remo3 is for the
Yeah,
ones who don't know?
Yeah, for the folks that don't know, Remo3 is really focused on one thing, and that's allowing enterprises to understand if they can move from where they are today to where they want to be. And really, what is the limiting factor for a lot of these larger enterprises? It's the lifeblood of those enterprises is really driven by applications. You can deliver workspaces. We work closely with hyperscalers like AVD and Windows 365. We work closely with Citrix and on-prem solutions. Delivering the workspace isn't the challenge. It's ensuring that you can get those workspaces fully functional by ensuring that the users can get access to the applications they need and the experience that they need so that they can be productive while still remaining secure. And for us at Remo3, we've seen this age-old application migration and management problem. Harjit, I mean, for how long have we been talking about, from moving from SCCM to Intune?
Yeah.
Even the days of when we were moving away from 16-bit deprecated components in XP to Windows 7. And historically, those have really been linear migrations. It's I just need to test if I can move from where I am to where I want to be. But there's
True.
so much more to it now. And the old school way that we used to do it, which is brute force, just doesn't work anymore, right? So I kind of liken it to a maps analogy, right? When you're starting to plan routes, you used to plan routes focused on things that were just how do I get from point A to point B? But now you can start thinking about things like how do I take the most scenic route? How do I take the quickest route without interstates? How can I avoid tolls? And really what we want to enable you to do is collect all the data, all the debt that you've taken around your applications and start interpreting that so that you can start making decisions around the multiple destinations or waypoints that you want to get to. And for us, that approach is really around automation. Now, AI is a buzzword and all of that. But if you are thinking about migrating from where you are today to a new destination or a new stopover, the only way to be able to do it across multiple destinations is through automation. And that's where Remo3 really brings a lot of value in terms of understanding your applications, how they're meant to perform, and then ultimately validating them to can you get to where you want to be.
Fantastic. Love the explanation. I mean, and I love the analogy too. The maps analogy is just perfect, right? You hit
Yeah.
it to a point, right? We were always looking at the starting point, the ending point, but now we're looking for gas stations and we're looking for places to eat on the way and stuff like that, right? So that's kind of what you guys do. So
That's exactly right. And for us, the approach has historically been Harjit, I need to have someone that knows how to use AutoCAD so that I can make sure that it's still fully functional and validated when I move to my next destination.
yeah,
The reality is, like, for tens of thousands of applications, brute force and manual is just not a way, especially if you have to test against 5 or 6 different destinations.
yeah,
It just becomes cumbersome and it becomes almost untenable. So our approach is around automation for data collection. And once you have the data, choose your own adventure, baby. Go where you want to go.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So that's awesome, and everyone should check you guys out. And so now switching back to Workplace Ninja Summit. So you're a sponsor.
Yeah.
Why and what?
Uh, there's a lot of reasons why, by the way, guys. So, I'm sure everyone says every community event is their favorite event, right?
That's true.
Um, aside from the fact that it's in beautiful Lucerne, Franz, one of the things that we did last time, really kind of focusing on, is there is a convergence happening, right? And we started seeing it last year, and Microsoft, as always, is kind of at the leading edge of this. And what has historically kind of been two different communities, like this end user computing community with Citrix and VMware versus the endpoint management community of SCCM and endpoint management technologies, those have historically been physical versus virtual.
Mhm.
And the reality is, this is starting to happen, right? A big part of
A
it
lot.
is, yeah, Microsoft 3, Windows 365, physical, Intune being able to kind of get to this point. So one of the things that we've started seeing, and one of the reasons we work so closely with Microsoft and Scott Manchester and that team, is really around the fact that what we want to do is we want to bring those communities together.
Mm.
And not just from a kind of technological standpoint, because the delivery is still going to be different, right? Even you talk to Scott, the way you deliver an application in AVD versus on-prem versus Windows 365, they're three very different experiences, and oftentimes they'll have three very different stakeholders. But
Right.
what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, if you bring automation, who cares what's happening behind the covers? If you can get your application out of SCCM and into AVD or into Citrix or into Omnissa, or you want to move it into Windows 365 or a physical Intune, I don't care, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be able to ensure that you can get from where you are to where you want to be. And then once you get there, any change that happens, we'll understand the impact of it. So, Ninja is a unique event for us because of the fact that you guys kind of were the first ones to embrace the fact that EUC and physical endpoint management is coming together. Now, for someone not as clever like me, I would say it's a coincidence. But Franz, you and Harjit are obviously people that have looked into this and seen that I'm going to bring these two pieces together. And I think from our perspective, hitting a target audience that encompasses all of worldwide app delivery, this is unique in that sense.
Are there specific things that you had planned to showcase? Are there probably some new things that you can probably not talk about it already? But are there plans to showcase something at the event?
There are, and there are a couple of things that we're looking to showcase, and I can't go into too much detail around it because they're all tied together. So we start our announcement showcase at Ninja, then we're going to Tech Fest, like we said, and then at Ignite, we're making the big announcement with Microsoft, Scott, and that team
Hmm.
around some of the stuff that we're working on with Jim Moyle and the app team over at Microsoft as well. But one of the things that we will really be focusing on during Ninja and announcing at Ninja is really around how we can help people take that data driven approach and actually start making their own adventures. Right now, we have predefined adventures for you. I want to move from Citrix to AVD. I want to move from physical to Windows 365. I want to move from X to Y. And those are great automations when you start thinking about, great, I need to get there. But what about all those stops along the way, Harjit, that you were talking about, like the rest stops, and I need to go and find some
Yeah.
place to eat, or a fast charging station for all of those that are green out there. And when you start thinking about it from that perspective, what you can do with the data is incredibly, incredibly powerful, right? I'll
Yeah.
leave it at that, but just know that that data is your data, and you can start planning and mapping your own journeys, leveraging automation. And let's not use that overused term, the two-letter term around AI, but ultimately take the data and do as you will. And that is going to be kind of the theme of where we focus for the next, let's call it 5, 6 months.
Sounds like Rimo 3 is going big. It's going big, and it's going to be exciting. So I'm looking forward actually to checking all that stuff out. So,
That's
what
fantastic.
about so speaking of Lucerne, right? I think we had an offline conversation. You haven't been there yet, but you've heard great things about it, right? So any specific things you want to see there or do? Or?
I'm very open. I tend to love food and drink. So, I know last time, even in Baden, Franz, when we got a chance to be out there, there was awesome food. There was easy access to Zurich,
Yes.
where we had some amazing evening dinners, looking out over beautiful scenery. So I am really excited about the food and drink, but I'm all ears. So if anyone has any suggestions out there around things to do in Lucerne, it is bring them on.
And I think definitely in the evening there will be things happening.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't talk about it already, but there will things happening, um, and that will be fun. Talking about fun, are you bringing stuff with you to for the
Swag.
attendees for yeah, swag? Everyone is
Oh,
talking about swag.
oh yeah, absolutely. Swag is definitely a thing that at Remo we are big on. I mean, we've been big into the sticker scene for a long time, but I think we're actually upping our game. So I'm really looking forward to some of the new branded stuff that our new marketing leader, Penny Grileski, she's come on board. And Harjit, I think you might know her from a previous life as well.
Yeah.
And she is very much she's ensured me that our swag and our presence will be well represented for Remo 3 while we're out there,
Amazing.
including some of the giveaways.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
including some of the giveaways. Everyone loves noise canceling headphones, right? The Bose,
Oh,
you
I
know?
don't know.
yes. Yeah.
I
At
don't.
Summit, we're gonna have some drinks together in Lucerne, so I'm I can't wait.
I can't wait. But do we have a last question for Samit Arjit?
I think at the end is like, what's the takeaways you want um, Ninja audience and attendees to take away from Remo 3's presence there and yourself?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And I think that, this is a unique event in the sense that it's a blend of community, but it's also a great opportunity to talk to product leadership from different companies. I mean, Harjit, what was it? Like Microsoft sent 150 product folks last year or some crazy number,
To
from corporate, not two, but
to Ninja?
it's a ninja. Yeah.
No, it was in the 40s.
Yeah, isn't but like for an
It
event,
was high. It
where
was
you have
high.
40s,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And then
Yeah.
you have leadership from a lot of the other organizations. So
Hmm.
for the Ninja audience, right? When you have feedback, this could be one of the easiest places to get access to product management. Share your challenges, share the things that you think that are gaps in the market or in even Microsoft or Remo's solution set, and
Hmm.
it will not fall on deaf ears there. Oftentimes when you have, not to say anything bad about sales reps, but when you're dealing with sellers and you're dealing with marketeers, it's in one ear and out the other. But when you're
Yes.
dealing with technologists and folks that are actually creating the software and responsible for setting the direction, it's a great opportunity for the audience to just engage and genuinely ask questions about, is this the right roadmap? Are you filling a gap? Is there a need, or are we doing something that's not necessary? And I think that was one of my takeaways that made Workspace Ninja especially unique last year, which was the access to product leadership across every organization, regardless of who the sponsor or vendor was.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the way you differentiated the sales versus the technologists.
See, that's going to come back and bite me. I know
No,
that's
no,
going to
no.
somehow come
It's
back and
really
bite me.
true, though. You know, I've
Yeah.
seen it at very large events too, right? When you have the expo halls and stuff like that, and you know, and if it's very sales driven, people just walk right past or just want to grab the
Yeah.
swag and walk away. But technologists are really going to understand each other, right? I know your needs. I know what you want. I know your pain points. Here's what my thing can do for you, kind of a thing, right? So,
Yeah, or by the way, I might not know your pain point. Share it with me, and if I don't have a solution
mhm.
for it, maybe I can point you to the person that does, or we'll build it. Right?
Yeah,
That's the beauty of talking to product.
And
yeah,
Samit,
exactly.
Samit, we both know that Harjit is a technologist that's working in marketing now. So
Hey,
We
I'm
just
an IT pro by
But yeah, many thanks for joining, Samit, and sharing your things around Rimo 3
Yeah.
for the summit. So many
And
thanks for joining us now.
and
And
thank you for sponsoring. Seriously, it's good to have you there, and we can wait. So
it's, it's an honor to be included, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing Lucerne with you guys and everyone else that's going to be attending.
Yeah, we'll
all right.
definitely do that. Thank you. And thank you for joining us today in today's episode of the Workplace Ninja Summit sponsor introduction. We had a fantastic time speaking with Samit from Rimo3. We hope you enjoyed the insights shared and are as excited as we are about Rimo3. And don't forget to check their booth at the event if you are joining us for more information and some exciting swag. Stay tuned for more episodes featuring our incredible sponsors. I say until next time.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you, guys.